build a bridge to invade wasp nest.
See the eggs? They're carrying the wasp eggs out of the nest.
Oh my God, what a bunch of creeps.
Everybody that commented was like, there's a rope in the middle of that. That's not real.
But
There's
it's not.
no rope. No,
no
look,
rope.
you can see right through it.
That's what's crazy.
That is
Ants.
just bodies. That is just ant bodies working in this hive mind to figure out how collectively to accomplish a task as one unit.
How are they doing that?
I don't know.
Imagine how strong the ants at the very top that are hanging onto the board,
Holding the whole...
holding a giant rope of ants. It's really nuts. What a crazy organism.
The strongest creature on Earth. It can lift up to 50 times its body weight, but is smaller than your little finger. Ants are considered the strongest animals in the world because they can lift weights disproportionate to their tiny size. Unbelievably, it's their tiny size that's the key. The square-cube law explains why an animal's ability to lift heavy objects changes with its size. It hinges on the difference between squared and cubed numbers, and how these relate to muscle strength and muscle mass.
For years, scientists knew that ants must have some way to talk to each other in order to organize their intricate societies. But ants have poor vision and hearing, so scientists knew that ant communication must work in a fundamentally different way to ours. It was a mystery for years, but in 1962, leading entomologist E.O. Wilson began to crack the code of ant communication. He started with the question of how ants tell other members of the colony the location of a new food source. He noticed that ants often tap their abdomen to the ground when traveling, so wondered if they were leaving some sort of chemical trail. He began painstakingly dissecting fire ant abdomens, crushing each of the organs with an applicator stick. He would then spread the ant juice on a piece of paper in front of other fire ants to see if they would react. As he worked through each of the known organs, the ants showed no interest. But then he stumbled upon an organ that had never been studied before, something called Dufour's gland. When he crushed this gland and spread it across the paper, the ants went wild. They followed the trail immediately and completely. Over time, scientists have discovered over 20 different pheromones that ants use to communicate. And by combining different signals, ants have created a complex pheromonal language. African weaver ants, in particular, have the most...
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to From Indicted to Invited. Go ahead and hit that like button right now. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for their donations. Remember, no amount is too small. Today's topic, right? Prison pets. And what I mean by pets is it can be anything from like any kind of insects or any kind of organism on this planet, right? I just showed y'all the video of my favorite thing and my favorite species on the planet is ants. I'm so intrigued by them ever since I was a little kid. Watching ant pals and watching them work together and their overall strength. They really are the strongest species on the planet. The way they work together, their intelligence, how they communicate. And they recently found out that sometimes when the ants walk, they rub their stomach or they rectum or something on the ground when they walk to release some kind of scent and a trail to communicate with other ants. Truly amazing species, bro. So, in prison, right? You got a lot of guys, and people who've been in prison knows this. You get a bowl that you eat out of. They got the containers, the Tupperware. A lot of guys have like different pets. Spiders, mice, scorpions, butterflies, anything. Snakes, lizards, frogs. It depends on where area location you're in the country, right? And they just catch certain things. And It's a beautiful thing, man. I think it teaches you responsibility, and it gives you a humanitarian spirit. It's a beautiful thing to see some of the most gangsterous guys have something that they care about, right? And you're not supposed to have them. Man, I remember a dude from D.C., man, popular dude from D.C. He had these lizards, and he had trained them, man. He can walk with them, and he have them on his shoulder and stuff like that. And man, one day they did a shakedown in a unit. He was out on the yard. They went in there and searched his cell and took his lizards. And the dude was so fucking, when I tell you, he was distraught and upset about the police taking them lizards. He went to the CO and about his lizards with that look in his eyes, with like water in his eyes, like he wanted to cry. But it's also with a look like, I'm about to do something to you. You know, it was a look in his eyes like, you took away my kids. Right? And I kid you not, man, that CO gave that dude that shit back, bro. He gave it back, bro. I'm talking about fear was all over him, man. He knew that dude cared about those lizards, bro. And he gave them back to him. And it's just a beautiful thing to see a grown, gangsterish, strong man be passionate about something else. It don't have to be another human being. Just passionate about something else on this planet. Right? It reduces crime inside the prison. People just be like content. Dudes come off the yard, they can't wait to see their pets and stuff. People got all kind of everything. Everything. I remember, man, somebody had called it like a tarantula. Right? And he had built like a thing. He had built like a big ass thing, and it's like he was at home on the street. He took the containers and combined them and melted the plastic and whoop, 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 and had a box with the grass in it, you know what I mean? With a thing you just walk around and he feed it every day. Everything, bro. Everything. You know, in some state joints, they have a pet program where some of the dudes can have cats and stuff like that. People know how important it is. And they say once you have pets, you live longer. You know, I don't know how true it is, but I guess the love that you release out and stuff like that and care about, it helps you live longer. But I've seen personally in federal penitentiaries, I've seen it personally that people care about these little insects and spiders and stuff like that. It stops them from focusing on more sinister things. A beautiful sight to see, man. A beautiful sight to see. And like I said, my personal thing, that I was in the hole one time, and I was getting transferred, so I knew I was going to be there at least 60 days. And one day I seen this little ant come out the little hole up by my cell door. So one day I went and got some bread and I put it all the way at the end of the cell by the shower. I watched this one ant come out. He goes up the wall. You know what I mean? He get a piece of the bread and takes it back, right? Takes it back. About 2 minutes later, about 6 or 7 of the ants come out, they in the line. And they get to the bread, and I thought they was eating the bread. They was just there for a while. They wasn't eating the bread. They was cutting it. They was chopping it down to a small enough size to get back in the little hole. Right, so I put a nice piece up there. Man, it all day long. When I tell you it took like 15 hours. They came and just was taking piece by piece of this bread. Just up and down the wall, just in the corner of the wall, up and down it, up and down it. It was the most amazing thing, man. It's like, I'm happy to share with y'all, this is my favorite species on the planet. Ants. The unity, the smarts, and the strength, it's just my thing. It's just my thing. But I knew a guy that had found he had some mice, right? And his cellie did not want these mice in the cell, bro. Oh man, I'm gonna keep them in there, man. They can't get out. And man, I'm talking about him and his cellie was about to come to blows about this dude bringing the mice in the cell. You know what I'm saying? And like, you got to have a celly that's with all of that. You know, like, it's mice, bruh. It's like, it's mice. Like, who want to be, like, you know, if they get out, like, it's like you brought them in there. If they get out, you brought them in there. Like, nobody want to bring mice in the unit, man, because, you know, you can infect the unit if they get out and start breeding it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dangerous thing as far as the mice is all that. And dudes had snakes, all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff, man. One dude had like some little cricket things he used to keep, right? And they used to make the noise and everything, bruh. Like that loud, like, man, what the? Like, people would just be out there trying to catch shit, bruh. Just looking for something to love, bruh. Just looking for something to love. It was just like, man, you'd be like, it could be something on TV, right? Something informative, woo, woo, woo. Nobody will watch it. Man, there's one time I remember they put the Flintstones on the TV. And all these gangsters came out, man. I'm talking about the whole TV room. Everybody was watching the Flintstones. Like big gangster ass, you know, The Little Boy in Me. Everybody got The Little Boy in Me. Y'all should get that book by George Bloomer, The Little Boy in Me. That's another book that you got to get. The Little Boy in Me. Man, listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you about these just a kind spirit, kind souls, bro. They just got caught up in the streets or whatever. And this is the most beautiful thing, man, I have ever seen, as far as dudes creating something to love and finding pets and insects and stuff like that and really caring about it. Right? This one of the things I learned that these people are sensitive. These killers, you know, these thugs, they sensitive. And they have a humanitarian spirit. This is from Indicted to Invited.